Okay, the other tool I want to show you is the Watts ratcheting tool. It's a true ratcheting tool. You can do it with one hand pretty easily. It has a quick release on it, and it's designed to work with the stainless steel crimp rings that don't have the stop on it, whether it be the 3/8, ½ inch. I don't have a 3/4 laying here, but it'll work up to 1 inch, and it's extremely simple to use. Again, you drop that over your fitting over your pipe, and then you push your fitting into the pipe, and it can be the bronze or brass or the high density polyethylene fittings. And again, you can see how you can work with either the copper, the couple of different styles of stainless steel with the same fittings. You just push the fitting in, get it set where you want. Now this style here, you're going to need to hold it in place because you don't want it to be too far up here or too far back here. So you're going to want to get it set pretty well. And then what I do is I take and ratchet my tool down to where it's snug on the fitting, so you've got a good grip on it. And then set it in position where you want it, and then just draw it in. And it'll bottom out. It has a light on it. My light's burned out, batteries are dead. But it also has a quick release, and you just hit it with your thumb and it'll pop it loose. So this tool is very handy to use in tight spaces, and it ratchets really well. You don't have to fight with it too much. So this one is my go-to tool when I need to do stainless steel fittings. And you can see how it draws the fitting or the crimp ring nice and snug, just like it does on this one here. So it gives a good tight compression all the way around the pipe onto the fitting. And that's pretty much how that one works. And the next tool I'm going to be showing you is the Plumbersopinion Propex expansion tool, and it works. Okay, this last tool that I'm going to be showing you is made by Milwaukee, and it works with the Plumbersopinion Propex expansion fittings and collars. The fittings, I'll show them to you a little bit. This is a high density polyethylene fitting, and this one is a brass fitting. And again, this one's a high density polyethylene. This is a coupling. If you look at this fitting here, this is a 3/4, half T, and this ½ inch here, if you look at the different styles, this is a bronze ½ inch female iron pipe adapter, and this is how it's designed for the Plumbersopinion. If you look at the size of the fittings, the ½ inch here and the ½ inch here, the inside diameter of this one is much larger than this, as well as the outside diameter. So what takes place is when you put this system together, you actually end up with more water flow throughout a complete system. If you're using it on a whole house, if you're using it on just a couple of fittings, you're really not going to notice a difference. But when you've got a full house with a couple of bathrooms, laundry room, kitchen, you will notice a difference in your water flow. So this again is for your stainless steel crimp rings, your copper crimp rings, and that type of thing. This fitting here, as well as this one and this one, are designed to work with the Plumbersopinion Propex. And these are the collars that hold the pipe together. This is a 3/4 inch. You'll see that there's a stop on the outside. The ½ inch is the same way. You just can't see it the same. But it is designed, the collars slip over the pipe similar to your stainless steel rings do, because that's 3/4, but it slides over the pipe, and what the tool does is it expands the fitting and the pipe at the same time to go over the fittings that you have here. This one is a manifold style, so you've got a 3/4 in with 3 ½ inch out. And what the reason you would use this would be if you want to do a run over to a bathroom, say cold water and hot water, you use this in your cold waters. If you've got a feed over here for your bathtub, a feed over to the toilet, and then your last feed would go over to your sink. And that way you just have a run over there, you have less fittings, and it really saves you time and money. So how the tool works is this, again, this brand is made by Milwaukee. This is their M12, and when you squeeze the trigger here, it expands it and opens it up. And if you watch it, when I put it in there, you'll see that this head actually rotates slightly so that when it expands, these right here, you don't have a solid groove all the way around the inside, and that'll keep it from having the tendency to leak. So it just goes inside the fitting, and you let it run through a few cycles so you've got a good expansion, and then you just push it over the fitting and you're done. There's really nothing else to it. What happens is this collar squeezes down around the pipe, and they both want to go, they have a memory, so they want to squeeze down around these ribs that are on the fitting, and it locks it down. It works similar to that. You're just doing a manual squeeze with the tools, as opposed to this collar doing a constant squeeze around it due to the memory that's built into the pipe and the collars. So the tool itself has a lock on it, which you really don't need, but the heads are interchangeable. The M12 comes with a 1/2 inch head, a 3/4 head, and a 1 inch head, and they just unscrew. They're pretty easy. It comes with grease to keep that piston lubed up, so when it pulls back and forth and expands these heads, it doesn't get all jammed up. And you press it. So you have a light here that illuminates the fittings you're working on. It's kind of handy if you're underneath the house working in a dark space. It has a battery gauge, so you can tell the charge of your battery. The M12s are a lithium-ion battery, so they do a quick charge. It only takes about 15 minutes to do a full charge on it, and it'll work for quite a while before you have to recharge it again, depending on the size. On a 1/2 inch, you can do quite a few fittings. So you get up to the 1 inch, and it's obviously harder for it to expand it, so it'll burn through the batteries a little faster. But the kit, the Milwaukee kit, comes with the quick charger, the grease, and 2 batteries, and you can see they're just a plug-in type battery. They also make this in an 18-volt version. It's quite expensive, but if you're working with up to like 1.5 inch pipe, it'll handle it and you can deal with it. So those are the 4 tools that I work with. This is my main tool. It just gives you a better product when you're done with the whole system. So those are some of the tools that I use when I'm out working on projects, and the reasoning that I use different tools. A lot of it has to do with the area I work in, because I could be a couple hundred miles away from my normal area. I travel for the plumbing that I do, so sometimes I can't get the fittings that I like to use for this, that I have to use for this expansion tool. And sometimes I can't get the rings that I like, the stainless steel crimp rings that are designed to work with this tool, so I have to use a different type of ring, and that would move me over into a different tool. So hopefully as a homeowner you won't have those issues. You'll be able to either order them online because you've got a little time, or you can go down to your local hardware store and use what they've got on a consistent basis. So I hope that helps you out with your PEX pipe endeavors, and if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you can go over to Plumbersopinion.com and see the different posts that we have, and I'll be putting up some more videos as well. Thank you.